Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, doing a little Yuumi coaching session here. So special thanks to Jolty for the generous donation. If you'd like a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I can set that up, do it on stream or off stream. It's just $25 if you're not a channel member. If you are a channel member, it's just $20. You can be either through the YouTube membership system, Twitch sub, PayPal sub, any of those. Will get you that $5 discount. And if you want to watch more coaching sessions, then I'll have a link in the description. This is going to be like the 190th coaching session that I've done, something like that. So be sure to check that out. I have a picture of the champion that I'm coaching, so you can just kind of flip through really quickly the playlist and find some other champs that you might be looking for. Okay, so we were talking on stream about this, a lot of people. So, you know, Jolty, and I am streaming this right now, by the way, so you might hear me talking to the chat a little bit as well. Starts most nights around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check it out. It's a lot of fun. We have a wonderful, very chill, very friendly community. But yeah, I don't recommend Flash, and a lot of people in the chat don't either, but Jolty says that he really likes Flash on Yuumi. I mean, it does allow you to, I guess, push forward a little bit more with your ult and maybe get a stun, or like maybe place your wards a bit more aggressively, and you can flash and get away, you know, if you're not near somebody. So, you know, it's not completely worthless, but the, you know, the common wisdom is because you pretty much always should have a dash where you can get to an ally with your W, then you wouldn't need flash, then you can take double offensive summoner. And that makes up for the fact that you don't really have a third basic skill, which is your W. So it allows you to keep up in pressure with, you know, the enemy. Because you have two summoners, even though they have one more skill than you. Okay. So yeah, you want to be trying to get as many autos in as you can, even when your shield's not up. You know, if you can sneak over and get an auto in, that's good. Or just autoing the wave to help match the pressure so that your Ezreal doesn't get pushed in a tower, because Jin's pushing it with his grenades. Yeah, I would try to land more autos here. Yeah, so I would spend more time off on Yuumi and just look for autos, try to like help him push the wave a little bit, just like auto attack the minions, help him even it up some. Okay, so Vi's right there near Dragon, so she might come around the back here, so, or she might fight your Nocturne in the jungle, so be ready to like rotate if you can. Also, if you took heal right now, like if you took Ignite plus heal, then Ezreal would be able to take teleport, which is really good on Ezreal because he has a really bad back timing. He has to go get tier, and unless he really knows what he's doing and like pushes the wave and gets priority and gets like a really favorable back exactly at 850, typically what happens is he'll back and he'll get tier, and then the enemy AD carry is going to get BF sword. So it's going to be a very disadvantageous position if that's what happens, which is typically what happens with most Ezreals. Even in Challenger, like, it's pretty hard to get that exact back timing that you need. It's a very small window. You know, you've got about 2 waves, so you got like 1 minute to get them into the tower and back before they do. And even then, a lot of times, they can just overstay for a wave and come back with a BF sword anyways and just lose like a marginal amount of experience and gold. So that's why you even see a lot of like pro players on champions that get tier early, like on Ezreal or even on Kai'Sa if they're going for the tier build. They'll take teleport just because it's too hard to get that back timing a lot of times without TP. does happen on Ezreal's a lot of times.
Through my work, you shall transcend.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, I would definitely try to hop off and auto attack more, both the wave and the enemy. You're not really using that shield passive too much, and they're pushing you into tower, which I would have. Yeah, when Nocturne was flying by, I'm pretty sure you can jump on him as he flies by. So if he flies over like Ezreal's head like that, you know, if you're looking for it, I'm pretty sure you can W to him while he's midair. Nah, TP, like, you need TP when you don't have wave management, though. Like, you're kind of right, Lev, but, I mean, higher low people are going to use everything better, but at the same time, like, you need TP even more as a crutch for wave management because you're not going to be able to manage your wave as well, like, in the lower. No, you flashed later because he was too far. I think. You'd have to double check, but when he flew over your head right here, when he flew over Ezreal's head, I'm pretty sure you could have W'd while he was mid-air flying over. And I think he was in range, but... I mean, the TP is not, it's for tier, like... A lot of people take tier, or take TP on Ezreal, even if you don't have a Yuumi. Because it's just too hard to manage the wave. Okay, Vi's about to come down. Yeah, you need to... probably would, like, right there, you just want to stay attached and wait on the Vi to dive you. I assume you probably didn't see her, but... Huh. Okay. I mean, as always, individual, you know, results may vary, but... I mean, yeah, there's like 300 IQ TP plays, but then there's also like 1 IQ TP plays, you know? Like, I've got 800 gold as Ezreal, I back with TP and get tier. Or just like, you know, top lane, I backed, so I TP back to lane. It's like, yeah, things like Ignite top are better, you know, in some... better in lower elos than higher elos, and, you know, barrier on Ezreal is going to be probably better at lower elo than higher elo, but TP is still going to be good in a lot of circumstances. Even just like really basic stuff. You just TP back to lane after you back. Maybe. I mean, look, if you're winning with something, you know, my argument is always, if you're winning with it, just keep winning with it, or whatever. Maybe just, you know, if it's working for you, that's fine. But, you know, there's always the argument of that someone made earlier is like, it's, if you know you should be doing something else and you know you probably could do it, then you should probably try to learn how to do it, like, you know, the more difficult or the more proper way, right? Like, you know, an example of this is like that people ask me all the time about what about like tank items on enchanters, and it's like, well, if you buy tank items on enchanters, they're going to be a lot worse. So you just have to learn how to position. Yeah, it's going to suck because you're going to get caught out. I'd probably just run right now. I would have just jumped off him a while ago and just run. Like, once he gets W'd by Jhin, I just run out of there. Yeah, at this point, I would start like looking around and seeing who else like you can exploit and maybe work around to win. It looks like Garen might be a good candidate because the Alawi rushed a Hextech Gunblade. Zeke's can work on Lulu sometimes. I mean, there are some exceptions, but or maybe you could go around and try to make a play with Nocturne or something. But yeah, I would definitely start looking for some alternatives here. I mean, if they have assassins on Lulu's someone that I haven't really tried that much, but I haven't had a very good win rate on Lulu. Pretty much ever. Like, I'll go on you know, sometimes I'll go on win streaks with her and she'll feel really good. But then is by the end of the season, I just usually don't have a good win rate on Lulu. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's just that there's her W so overloaded and her other skills are kind of worthless. He took stopwatch over boots. Yeah, I think popping off to auto attack a lot more would certainly help, especially early on. Yeah, I mean, I would still recommend going Ardent first instead of Zeke's. Like, I wouldn't really go Zeke's, honestly, unless you really need the armor, because you're paying a very high premium for armor. And it's like, if you just don't get hit, you don't need the armor. But if they have something like Zed or Talon, you know, or Nocturne or something like that, like, you're going to get hit. Rengar. But if you're just looking for maximum offense, then I think something like Ardent Sensor is going to be a better bet for you. Yeah, I would pop off an auto there. I think he popped off an autoed and like ignited. I mean, he is low on mana, so maybe he didn't have enough. But yeah, go, 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 go. Pop off auto. Don't forget, when you auto, you get a shield that you get, which helps out a lot. Yeah, I mean, I would say Zeke's is situational on something like Lulu. I mean, she does have a low cooldown ult that you can use proactively, so that's, you know, one of the keys for Zeke's, but okay, nice. I would definitely get some boots at this point, like brown boots, just because the map's opened up so much. Straight greed by that Nocturne, he could have easily just left. Natural probably would have killed him.
Red team has slain the dragon. Killing spree.
Garen unfortunately took Cleaver instead of Triforce, but I saw there was a Garen in the G2 game, G2 Fnatic. That was pretty funny, with Yuumi. The Garen bot lane, Garen Yuumi bot lane, which I thought was hilarious. But he went off, man. He had like 8 kills or something that game. I was like, is this a troll game that like doesn't count for anything? It's like, no, it's actually a tournament game. Playoffs game. Nice. Oh, Garen gonna get him. Garen gonna get him. No, he's not. Yeah, y'all. Probably, like, when he turns the corner right there, I probably would have left him alone. Never buy boots or potions. Potions I understand, but I would buy boots. I mean, sometimes you'll see Yuumi's, like, not go boots.
Blue team's turret.
But,
Red team double kill.
I like that emote. But, like, in a map like this where it's just, like, wide open, I would probably go Ionians. Now, Ionians don't have as much value if you have Flash rather than, you know, Ignite or Exhaust as far as, like, combat effectiveness. But it's still pretty good. I would get at least brown boots. I mean, you got to be able to rotate. There's just so much, like, random fights, so many random fights breaking out. I think most people get CDR boots on her because, like, you don't need a crazy amount of speed because you can be attached to people, but you do need some speed, I think, for those times when you need to go out to ward or you need to rotate or whatever. And you get the 10% cooldown on summoners, which is pretty good. Do I play Pyke? I have played Pyke some. He's fun, but I just don't have a lot of success with him. I get more frustrated playing Pyke than probably any other support. Because I just feel like I just always get just outplayed with his ult. Everyone always saves their heal or their flash or their dash or whatever. Feels like every time I try to ult. I know, well, Jolteon, what Steven was just saying was in defense of you not buying boots. He was trying to defend you with what pros are doing. But I see a lot of people getting boots because you need to be able to rotate.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team has
I wouldn't do Ardent here, and the main reason is, like, your Ezreal's doing terribly, and you don't have anyone else that, like, really benefits a lot from autos. I would probably do Redemption. Or if you want something that's a little more reliable, maybe a Shirelia's.
blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, that's the game I was talking about, Space. That's a pretty good series. I actually got to catch up and watch some pro games while I was on vacation at night. Couldn't go to sleep. We had our daughter sleep in our bed, and she just, I don't know, it was just weird. It was a pretty crappy bed, too, honestly. I mean, it was a really nice home, but it was like a little box spring, like, this kind of junk bed. It was too small for the three of us. And, I don't know. My sleep schedule's just really far off, too. I just couldn't fall asleep. But a lot of it's because I was, like, hanging over the edge of the bed, you know. What's that Nocturne doing? Nocturne's doing pretty well. I might consider running around with Nocturne because you get to take his ult with him. So when Nocturne's ult is up, I would just go ahead and hop on him. And just try to play around Nocturne. Because then even if they flash, you can ult. Yeah, I need to keep up with the pro scene a little bit more. I wasn't doing it when I was doing a lot of TFT stuff. I just didn't have time, but especially now that playoffs are around, it's looking good. I've tried to get back into actively managing my money a little bit more. And so I've been like listening to a lot of like financial stuff. What's up, dear? Yeah. Yeah.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I thought about going to the couch. That's true, yeah. I mean, it was a really cool place, but yeah, it's kind of dated. Yeah. We're just demanding California King everywhere we go. They have a California King air mattress.
Red team has slain Baron Nashor.
Probably. Okay, so I assume you're going redemption here. Yeah, I would really stick. I would just like not be around this Ezreal most of the time. I'd just pretty much anyone but Ezreal.
Back on my own.
I think you being on Nocturne, he'll give you a lot of assists. I think EU sports coverage, I thought it was supposed to be more hardcore. It depends on the sport. I thought that people get crazy about soccer in Europe. Football. Like, go! You know, like, I mean, people get pretty hyped for sports in a lot of places. Like, it's their job to get hyped, like a lot of announcers, unless it's golf or something. Maybe tennis.
Red
They're
team
like,
has slain the dragon.
what an insane punch that was. Oh my goodness. Like, wow, good putt. That's right, yeah. Instead of the goals thing. So, football is kind of catching on in America, but still not like that big. I don't follow traditional sports very well. I just don't have time. I mean, there's only so much time. There's other stuff I'd be rather be watching. Usually it's just a social thing. Like, if people are hanging out watching a sports game, I'll have fun hanging out watching a sports game, you know, but definitely not going to watch a game by myself. And, you know, a lot of people that I hang out with, friends that I hang out with, just don't really watch, like, that much sports. Huh. Alright, we'll just, 9 bot, bro. Huh. It's really not. It's really not, which is weird. Like, I don't know. The biggest sport in America is, like, American football. Is what they call it. With just no one plays anywhere in the world. With the, you know, the brown, I don't know, even know what shape you'd call that. Pointy oval is what my wife called it. Ball that you throw around and people run into each other and hit each other. Yeah, that's what most people watch, and then I think probably basketball is probably the second most watched, and then probably baseball. Baseball might be more watched. There's a lot of games in baseball. Like 180 games a year or something crazy. So technically, baseball might be more, and then soccer or football is probably like the 4th most popular, I would guess. People really only care around like the Olympics and World Cup, but it's I don't know. It's a popular thing for like kids to play. Like, kids play it a lot. It's just like adults just don't watch it very much. Okay, so they're on Baron. Ari's making the play. Yeah, hockey's getting I think hockey's probably pretty close to football. Hockey's the most, okay, so soccer's behind that. I don't really know, behind like the 3 like major sports, I don't really know the numbers of the others that well. Yeah, I know, that was a big thing. Some people were watching, you know, the women. The women do very well. Haven't they won 3 of the last 4 World Cup? Which is sad. More people don't watch it because they're like our best international sports team. That's just how it is, man. Sometimes life's just not fair. Yeah, I think baseball gets a lot of revenue because there's just so many games. Oh, like soccer is the #1 sport in the world. Yeah, for sure. You know, no one needs to Google that. Everyone knows. It's pretty much like anywhere other than America, football or what we call soccer is the most popular international sport. Everybody knows that. I don't know about the most money, but okay. See, American vibes. Sorry, we've just been kind of talking about random stuff here during Schulte's video. I mean, it's basically just like base defense, pretty much. Like they got a Baron on you. It's base defense. Ari went out into to try to stop it, but there's not really a lot of decision making there. It's just whatever. Now, I would have gotten, I would definitely have done Redemption instead of Mikhail's here. Hey, thanks, American. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, we do League here. We talk about random stuff people want to talk about sometimes. Yeah, I still in the mid game. I mean, y'all could still come back here for sure. I would have probably played around the Nocturne just because he's like, you're able to move with him. Anything that has a lot of mobility or like invisibility or something, like Yumi's really good with that because she gets to kind of piggyback in. I mean, you might get him, but it seems bad. Because y'all are, you know, there's no one anywhere close to you. I probably would have just backed up and let him back. They took forever to kill you because Garen is tanky, so maybe y'all can turn around. It seemed really rough because you had no vision of anything, and they were nowhere on the map. But they just did not have the damage to kill the Garen. Yeah, cricket I think is really big in a lot of places that were like former British colonies. I've heard it's really big in like South Asia, India, and Sri Lanka. I have a friend from Sri Lanka.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
American football has the highest revenue. Huh. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Making some plays. Making some plays. I think cricket is similar to U.S. baseball, but I really don't know like that well. Fighting, yeah. You got Conor, what is it? Conor McGregor. He's an entertainer. I haven't really followed UFC that much, but I do watch from time to time. I'd watch replays of it back when we had cable on like Spike Network or whatever it was. I'd watch like replays. Occasionally, if I'm in a bar or something, I might watch a live fight, a pay-per-view or something, but I don't watch it that often. I'll just watch like highlights online. The McGregor versus Mayweather was pretty entertaining. I like that. I think that was brilliant by both people to make a ton of money. Oh, you train at his gym? Nice. He's a very good businessman. Okay. I mean, they're throwing really hard. You're just getting some easy catches here. I mean, yeah, I don't know what McGregor got for that fight. It was probably like, you know, just basically dance around and get tapped by Mayweather a few times and get $30 million or something. I mean, everyone knew there's no way he was gonna beat it. I think Mayweather was being pretty chill about it too. I think he was trying to give the fans a good show, you know. And that was really nice of him because everyone was hype about it because you don't get to see that cross sports kind of stuff that often. So I think they were both pretty good about it. Anyways, all right, so the main things to work on here. So consider switching off of Flash. I know we've beat that dead horse a million times for the reasons I talked about. It helps balance out the fact that you don't have as much power in the early game because you don't have a third ability. You only have your W. And then try to be just a lot more aggressive, whether you choose to keep Flash or choose to try something else. Just be more aggressive in the laning phase. Like, try to land more autos. Like, autos add up a lot, especially because it's very difficult for anyone to trade back with you. When you hit that shield, like, usually all they can do is just trade an auto with you back, and you're going to have a shield. Because that'll trigger Airy, especially if you're taking Airy. You should be autoing a lot. But even with Comet, like, it's still worth it to auto. You can also just use your autos to help equalize the wave so they don't push you into the tower as much. That's really useful, especially, I think you said this is gold 4. You know, that's really useful because a lot of people have a hard time last hitting under tower. And then just, like, use your Q more. It felt like there were times where you, like, really weren't, like, where I was pretty sure it was off cooldown, but you weren't using it. So try to, like, auto more, use your Qs more, get aggressive. And then in the mid game, I like that you kind of abandoned Ezreal for a while and tried to play around other people. You know, Garen's okay. Like, he was someone who was pretty far ahead, but Nocturne was pretty far ahead too. And I probably would have gone, like, whenever Nocturne has his ult, whenever you see that green dot on Nocturne, I would go seek him out and then just, like, go walk around with him and just have him ult on people. What else? I probably would have gone Redemption instead of Ardent Sensor, or if you don't like Redemption, Shirelia's, you know, just to help you make some more plays, especially if you're on, like, Garen. Shirelia's can be really good. Redemption is just kind of a good all-around team fight ability. And if you already have Athene's, it gives you a lot of extra AP. I think it gives you, like, 30 extra AP with all the mana that you get on it. It's 5 per 25, so actually 35, because I think Redemption's 175 mana. It might be 150% mana regen. I think it's 150%, gives you 30 extra AP. So it's just a really good deal if you can, practice with Redemption, play that off. There are a couple of plays like that one with Garen where it kind of, the ball bounced well in your favor because you were alone with the Garen, but Ezreal hit his ult and, you guys stalled out and got enough time. I mean, yeah, Garen was fine. I think that the Nocturne could have been pretty good too, but anyways, that's the main thing, is I think just try to be a bit more aggressive early game. Yeah, the mid game was pretty solid. Try to jump off and land more autos even in fights as well, though, because that gives you a shield, which the shield has been nerfed, but it's still a pretty good shield even in a fight. Okay, that's going to be it for the coaching session. So the stream's going to continue. I'll play 1 or 2 more games here. But remember, if you want a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. We can either do 25, and I can do that on stream or off stream. I've done a lot of coaching with Jolty before as well, which is why a little more conversational in there at parts of it. Yeah, and if you are a channel member, then it's $5 off, so just be $20 either on stream or off stream. Put the coaching in a playlist, so you always have access to it, and even if you don't have the money to, go for a coaching session right now, or you just want to see what's up before you commit to a coaching session, remember I've got about 190 videos there, so you can just kind of flip through, see some of your favorite champions, see how I talk about the champions, and see if it'd be something that'd be interesting for you. But anyways, thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.